Hi, it's Linda from Homestead by the Lake. So we are starting off week 3 of the Pantry Challenge. And for day 15, I had baked some chicken thighs and some baked potatoes for dinner. And I had a corrupted file. So this is only video I have of that. But basically I baked the chicken thighs with some spices in a 400-degree oven. And I wrapped up my baked potatoes and baked those in the oven until they were done. They both took about an hour to finish, and it was delicious. Okay, so for week 3, day 16, we are doing chicken fajitas tonight. And in my freezer, I have some sliced onions and some sliced peppers. And I'm gonna start to saute those in a little bit of olive oil. Get those going. My chicken was defrosting in the fridge. So now what I'm going to do is cut this into strips. And I'm using my pan that I started my onions and my peppers in for some flavor. And I did start a box of rice, which is simmering right now. So I'm going to start with my cut up chicken. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil because I'd like some browning to happen to the chicken. And then I'm going to add some pepper. And some salt. Because I have a Spanish rice, I'm really not going to flavor my chicken other than salt and pepper. And we'll be back. I have extra sharp cheddar, so I am going to shred that to put on our fajitas. You know it's better for you if you don't buy the shredded and you shred it yourself. My peppers and onions are almost done. My rice is getting close, so I'm just waiting for my chicken. And we'll be ready for dinner. Don't shred any of your plastic in there. That wouldn't be a good idea. It should be good. Here's my peppers and onions. Look how good they look. Oh, this is what I want. You see this brown on my chicken? That's what I want. It gives it so much more flavor. Right, everything is ready. So we have our peppers and onions. Look at that. Just beautiful. And our chicken is done perfectly with a little bit of crisp. Look at that. And our rice is done. There we go, chicken fajita dinner. So we are getting ready for day 17 of the Pantry Challenge. And out of my freezer, I had some French onion soup that was all done. So I am going to reheat this in our pot. I will let that heat up. And then also in my freezer, I keep the bread that's already toasted that we need anytime we want French onion soup. So I'll take a couple of these pieces out and set those in our bowls for when our soup is reheated. See, they're all done and toasted. Okay, my soup is heating up. Now, I always use fresh mozzarella, but I don't have any about. So we are going to have to use just a block of mozzarella, which it's not going to be as good, but it's okay. We will survive. Oh, let's have a piece. Good stuff. So I'm just going to slice and not too thick, about like that, see that? And that will melt over our bread. Finish that piece. Well, this is the simplest dinner, right? I had soup frozen in the freezer. I had the bread already toasted and in the freezer. So all I have to do, heat it up, put it in the oven, melt the cheese, French onion soup for dinner. How perfect is that? So I just turned the broiler on. We're gonna let that warm up while I spoon in the soup. Where is my spoon? Well, not the one I wanted. Well, we'll use this one. Must be in the dishwasher. All right, we are heated and boiling, so we're good. We are just going to fill up our bowl. French onion soup smells so good. I really enjoy it. And it's not hard to make. I do have a video on my YouTube channel of how to make your very own French onion soup. It is very easy. So now all I'm going to do, see that? I'm going to add our bread and top it with cheese. And this would be so much better with fresh mozzarella, but that's okay. We use what we have, right? And then that is gonna go on my pan, and it will go in the broiler till it's melted. Going in the oven. This will not take long at all to melt the cheese, and dinner will be served. I like to keep an eye on it just because there's really no good time to say how long it takes to melt your cheese. Just keep an eye on it. Go, it is out of the oven. Look at how beautiful that is. Hi, how's everybody doing with the pantry challenge? So today is day 18 and we are going to make some baked ziti. I thought it would be a good idea. So in my fridge, I have been defrosting. Oh good, it looks like it's defrosted. Some tomato sauce that I already had done in the freezer. I said the fridge, didn't I? Freezer. And I am going to start my water on high. And I have some of the big ziti. We're gonna do that. This is gonna be a small batch because I really don't need any for leftovers, so I don't wanna make the whole pound. Plus, I have very little left ricotta in the fridge. So I wanna be able to use this up, but if I make a pound, then I'm not gonna have enough ricotta. Ugh. But we have to use what we have, right? And I do not have any fresh mozzarella, which would just make this wonderful, but we're gonna shred up just some block mozzarella cheese. And that'll work out. And this will be tonight's dinner. You know what's really nice is having meatballs already made up in your freezer. Makes dinner so simple. There's a video on my YouTube channel where we took a Sunday afternoon and we just made all sorts of meatballs. It's really fun to get that done and put in your freezer. So I'm gonna take out some meatballs and how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be good. So we'll do 6 meatballs. And we're gonna add those to the sauce and heat those up. Okay, so my water is getting hot. And I'm going to add some salt in here. And I'm going to open my sauce and start heating that up. Oh, it is still a little bit frozen. Okay. No, maybe not. So we're gonna start heating that up on the back burner. And I need a top. Otherwise it splatters all over, huh? Okay. One more thing out of the, well, 2 more things out of the freezer. Okay, so now I'm going to add the meatballs to the tomato sauce that's already done up so they can warm up in there. And how much ziti do I want to do? I have this container that I'm going to use. I guess I'll do a half a box because I have about a quarter of a container of ricotta. So we'll do a half a box. All right, our water is boiling. Going a little crazy there. I'm gonna turn that down a smidgen. And I'm going to go ahead and do a half a box. Perfect, that looks like half a box. And we're gonna give that a stir. And in the meantime, I am going to start my oven at 350. Now, baked ziti, you can also add meat if you want. If you want hamburger, or if you want to add Italian sausage, you can do that. I'm out, so we're getting meatballs. We gotta use what we have, right? It works. So I'm gonna shred up some mozzarella, and basically as soon as my pasta is done, I'm going to add my ricotta, and then I'm going to top it with mozzarella. And it's going to bake in the oven for maybe 20 minutes until our cheese melts and everything is warm. Very simple dinner if you have your sauce done and your meatballs already done. But even if you don't, still a very simple recipe that you can do. You can use a jarred pasta. You don't have to, a jarred marinara sauce. You don't have to make your own marinara sauce. Actually, you know what? I don't think I have one online. I need to do a marinara sauce, pasta sauce video. You know, when you're just used to making your own sauce, it's kind of hard to eat a jarred one, you know? But don't need to be picky, do I? Okay, there's a good amount of mozzarella. Ooh, make sure you eat the end. Okay. I have another block if that's not enough. So this pasta, let's see what it says. Ooh, 15 minutes. It's a thick pasta. So we will set our timer for 15 minutes and then we'll be back. So I have some sausage in the freezer, but I think I'm going to save that for something else. What I think I'm going to do is break up some of the meatballs to make it more of a meat sauce. Ooh, that's gonna be good. So when you are cooking your pasta, if you take your spoon, oh, my oven's preheated. If you take your spoon and you move your pasta around, you can actually get to start to feel when your pasta's done, just by how it feels on your spoon. It's quite interesting. Try it. So all I'm going to do is squish my meatballs, and voila, we have an instant meat sauce. And then I took out some more meatballs that we will just put in here and keep whole and let those warm up for the few minutes that we have left on our pasta. We'll be back. All right, our timer is just about to go off for 15 minutes. So we're gonna try it. Yeah, that's good. It's a little al dente, which is really what we want. So now we're gonna strain it. Our pasta is done. It is al dente. So I am going to add that to my pan. Yeah, that's a good amount of pasta, I think. And then I'm going to get some sauce. I'm gonna leave the whole meatballs in there because they're not ready yet. But I'm going to move some of the meat sauce in. And there we go. I'm gonna mix that up some. Look at that, it turned into instant meat sauce. Fantastic. So now what you do when you're making a baked ziti is you add your ricotta cheese. And you mix that real well. And we only have a quarter of this left. So I wanted to make a dish to use this up. So this is perfect. Okay, so now you just incorporate your ricotta. Whoops, don't let your pasta go flying in. Maddie, that's gonna be hot pasta, honey. Maddie ate it. Okay, so see what the ricotta does to your pasta? It gives it a nice creamy texture. See that? Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the rest of our meatballs and the rest of our sauce to the top. And spread that along the top. My meatballs are still a little bit frozen, but that's okay. I changed the recipe in the middle. So my meatballs are not completely cooked from in the sauce. So now what you're going to do is you're going to top it with your mozzarella. Oh, I wish I had real mozzarella, or fresh mozzarella, I should say. This is real mozzarella, but just not quite the same. And now we're gonna put it in the 350 oven, and we're going to let that finish cooking, heat up, and everything's going to be melted, and it's gonna be delicious. Why do I keep saying al dente? Or no, al dente. Why am I saying that? It's al dente. I have no idea. Sometimes the mind just doesn't work. You know how that happens? My timer just went off. It has been 20 minutes. Let's see what we have. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at how gorgeous that is. Bake ziti for dinner. Okay, to get started on a tuna noodle casserole for day 19 of our pantry challenge. So for our tuna noodle casserole, you need to start your water for your noodles and add some salt to the water. And while we're waiting for that, in another saucepan, we're gonna start the sauce. You need 2 tablespoons of butter. And you're going to need 1 cup of chopped celery. And you're going to need 1/4 cup of chopped onion. That looks about right. You are going to need 3/4 cup of milk. And you're going to need a can of tuna and a cream of soup, whichever you like a cream of chicken, a cream of mushroom. But what I like to do is it comes out creamier if we add 2. So I have a chicken and a mushroom that I'm going to add, and 2 cans of tuna because it makes it more flavorful with 2 cans. And a can of peas that we're going to drain. We're going to add peas to it as well. So we'll get those all ready. All right, our water is boiling. So you need 3 cups of noodles. And and we use the wide noodles. They don't take long to cook. This says, oh, I can't see what it says. About 6 to 8 minutes. So we'll be back. Vegetables are sauteing and our alarm's about to go off for our noodles. So we're going to drain. So when my alarm went off, it cut off my recording. So I'm sorry. So now to our saucepan, after our vegetables are sauteed, you're going to add your flour. And that has to cook for a minute. And then you add all of your liquid ingredients, your milk and your soups. And you let that heat up. It wants to heat up and come to a nice bubble. So you want to keep sauteing till it starts to thicken. My pasta is done, so I drain that and set that to the side. And my cheese mixture is ready, so once that's thickened and bubbly, you want to fold in your tuna and any vegetables that you want added. So I top this with some shredded Parmesan and a little sprinkle of some breadcrumbs. Now I'm going to turn the broiler on and brown the top some. Okay. It has been 20 minutes, and for the last 5 minutes I turned it on the broiler just so the top can get a little brown. There we are. Here is our tuna noodle casserole. There you go. Look at that. For day 20, we are having leftover baked ziti. And for day 21 of the Pantry Challenge, we had leftover tuna casserole. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you're enjoying this Pantry Challenge as much as I am.